Hi, this is Gary from 3Bug Media, and today we're going to talk about a common problem businesses make when they start online marketing, and that's becoming a digital sharecropper. So what's a digital sharecropper? Well, basically it's when you build your entire business and platform online on somebody else's property. And when I say somebody else's property, I mean social media networks, if you're e-commerce, doing something like Amazon, things like that. And we're going to discuss why that's so dangerous. Now, when it comes to online marketing, there's only two things that you own online. And first and foremost is your website. That's your website. You own the domain. You own your own hosting. That's your property. Nobody can take that away from you. Even Google, they may, not rank you in the search results, but they can't take away your website. That's your property. You own it like real estate. The second thing is email. Email addresses, as you collect them, people have given you permission. So you have a direct relationship with the person giving you their email address. That's yours. You've made an agreement with that person. It's between you and that customer or visitor or whoever it is. So that's your property. Now, when it comes to other things like social media, like Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, things like that, you can build a huge following. You can get you can get thousands of likes, shares, followers, things like that, and it may be great, and you may have a lot of influence online, and you may even be making sales online. But the problem is you do not own those relationships. All of those likes, all of those followers are owned by those social media networks, not you. And just like that, they can take it away from you, and it happens every day. It happens all the time. They can close your account, they can suspend your account, they can change the rules, they can change their terms of service, and all of a sudden that platform that you've been spending months or even years trying to build suddenly goes away from you. And it's happened thousands and thousands of times. If you were an early user of Facebook when they first launched their platform a long time ago, you would know that Facebook encouraged businesses and brands to build their fan pages, and they gave them a lot of reach, and it was great. If you were in the early days, you had tens of thousands or even hundreds or millions of followers, and it was huge. Rewind to today, they basically pulled the biggest bait and switch online in history when they turned around and said, well, Mr. Business, you have 1 million followers, and you used to be able to reach them, through the network. But now if you want to reach those people, you have to pay us with advertising. And just like that, all of those people that spent months, years, tens of thousands of dollars building an online platform, all of a sudden were unable to reach their audience that they worked so hard to build. And it was a quick change. They changed it overnight, and all of a sudden you lost everything. And you know what? That's their right, because it's their platform, it's their rules, they own all the relationships. You are just a digital sharecropper. You're basically renting the land from them, and they can do what they please with you. So, Instagram, Instagram's really popular right now. Just keep in mind, Facebook owns them. Don't be surprised a year from now that the same thing happens. So, if you're e-commerce, same thing. Third-party marketplaces like Amazon, eBay, things like that, they're great, and that doesn't mean not to use them, but you want to make sure that your website is the main hub for everything, and that's where eventually your goal is to bring everybody back to your website and hopefully get their email address, make sales, and make them directly with your website, because then you own the relationship with that visitor. So here you're only renting that space, and they can take it away from you at any point. So if you don't learn, and the other thing here is I put it here, free blogging platforms. So it may be cheap to get started. Maybe use something like blogger.com, wordpress.com, and you get a free subdomain from them, yourwebsite.wordpress.com, something like that. It's great to start blogging. You build an audience, but guess what? You're building an audience on their platform. They're getting all the credit. It's their visitors. So if you ever decide to go away, do something else, start your own domain, you're basically going to lose all of that traffic to them. Okay, so make sure if you're going to do anything, when you're getting started on with digital marketing, make sure you make your website the foundation of everything you do. use all of these social networks, use Amazon, use blogging, whatever you want to do, whatever's going to drive traffic, whatever works for you. I'm not saying not to use them, but the strategy should be to use these platforms to drive traffic back to your website. Once they get back to your website, try to get their email address, try to get engagement from them directly on your website, because now you're engaging with them on your own property. And once you can get their email address, or even if you're going to do something like remarketing, you have the relationship directly with them, and no third-party platform can turn around and come to you and say, hey, we're taking away all those visitors. We don't care how much hard work that you've done to get these people. We're going to take them because they're ours. Nobody can take away your own website, your own email address, the email addresses that you collected, things like that. So just keep that in mind when you're developing your digital marketing strategy. Think website first, think email second, which, by the way, all the hoopla today is about social media, about metrics like engagement levels, reach, how many likes do I get, things like that. Those are all well and good. I'll tell you something, ROI, email beats all of them, hands down. It's the cheapest way to get to your customers, and it has the highest ROI out of any social network that you will use. It's often neglected because the shiny object today is social media, but just remember, the real marketers, the real direct marketers use email as the core to make money. Okay, so I hope you learned a little bit. If you want to learn more, go to 3bugmedia.com, and you can subscribe to our YouTube channel below. Thank you very much, and have a good day.